All right, well, thank you for joining us for our Getting Started with Basic Plans and Planner webinar today. We are Marquee 360. We're Microsoft Project and Portfolio Management Partner in Cloud Productivity. I'm Erin Boyle. I'm the Marketing Manager here, and I also have on the call with me Stella Simpson. She's going to be giving our demo training portion today. Stella, you want to say hi?
Hi, my name is Stella Simpson. I'm a solutions architect here at Marquee 360. I'm really excited to get into Basic Planner today.
Awesome. Thanks, Stella. This call is being recorded and will be up on our YouTube channel, but we will be sending out the link to that after the webinar is finished. We have been awarded Microsoft Partner of the Year finalist for 4 years now, and that just means that we stay up to date with what Microsoft is doing as far as innovation when it comes to their Microsoft 365 applications. And the biggest thing we're going to talk today is Planner, and that's in its most basic state. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Stella.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so let's talk about Planner. First things first, how do we get to Planner? There are two different types of, there's a traditional planner, as we like to call, which is like the actual app, and then there is Planner within Teams. So here we can see that I'm in a browser, but I'm in Teams, right? This is Teams, and at the bottom, if you click this ellipses and you search for Planner, you're going to see the app pop up, which is this one right here, and then you can pin it or unpin it. I have it pinned right now, so it's asking me to unpin. So this is Planner within Teams. Now, the traditional app, basically, you're just going to open any Microsoft application. You can go to the waffle here, and then you can go to Microsoft 365 and search for the Planner app. That's how you get to your like more traditional app. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what's the difference? Well, obviously, using the Planner within Teams is one, going to allow you to go back and forth from chat to Planner like really quickly, right? Because you're in the same browser. And then the real big benefit here is that using Planner within Teams, when Microsoft is releasing these updates, they actually release it to the Planner within Teams first, right? So you're gonna have like your notifications, you're gonna have like within some of these plans we're gonna see, you're gonna have different views and stuff. So like when they do these releases, and they're releasing things very frequently because they are putting a lot of like research and development time into the Planner application right now. If you want to get the most up-to-date version of it, I would use Planner within Teams. That's the major benefit there. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So we're here on My Day, as you can see, and with My Day, we are going to see that we have all of the tasks that are due today. So today is June 11th, and we can see that I have this task for today's webinar, Planner Power-Ups Basic Plans, as you can see here. Now, in addition to anything that's due today, we're also going to see anything that I may have come over here and, gone here and said, add to my day. So if we go here, we can see that that's been added to my day. And that's coming from flagged emails as well. So we'll talk about that. So these are things that I've specifically added to my day. Now, from here, we have our grid view. We're going to have task name, plan, due, priority status, quick look, and we can move these around as well. We can't move the order of these, but I can interact with it, say this is completed. I can also go to the board view and I can group by any of those things. So due date, plan name, priority, or status. So here I can start, we're doing this right now. I'm going to go ahead and drag this into completed. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's letting me manage it because Erin owns this. So this is owned by Erin, but I'm assigned to it. So as you can see here, I can actually update it from here. Or I could drag and drop it as well. Okay, so I also can just press on this circle right here to mark it completed. Okay, now moving on to the My Tasks area. Now these My Tasks area right now are on all of them. So I'm just going to say, hold on. Just go to assign to me here. and it's going to pull that in. Now we can see here that I have assigned to me flagged emails. So these are tasks created by flagging Outlook email. So these might not actually be tasks. It just tries to like look through my emails and use AI to basically create tasks from your emails. Now, depending on your organization, you may or may not have that turned on. That may be turned on from the back end. On the grid view here, though, we can see we have task name, plan, due, priority status, and quick look. Quick look, this here indicates that it's in my day. This would indicate like there's a note, and this indicates that like there's some checklist items. 2 out of those 3 have been completed. We also have our board view here, right? So the same thing, I can, drag and drop into from progress into completed, and then I can also just check this here off as well. Get completed. And in this, I can group by status, due date, plan name, priority, and status as well. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to, ask them throughout. We have a small group today, so we can, just do open questions, or feel free to drop them in the chat, up to you. In the My Plans area, as you can see here, we have My Plans. Now I can also search by name by coming in here and searching like, webinar, for example, that'll pull up those, or like maybe my demo plans. So I can search for the name. I can also pin it, right? So if I pin this, it's going to pin to the right side, as you can see here, unpin it. And it's going to always show you the shared, but you can also do the recent, but you can also show the shared, personal, and pinned as well as what recommended as well. Now, to create a new plan, what we're going to want to do is we can go to create plan here, or if we're in the My Plans area, we're going to see create a plan here. So it takes us to the same page. You can see here, create a plan. It's going to take us there. I press create a plan. It's also going to take me there. So same thing. Okay. Now let's talk about these options that we have here to create a plan. I can create a basic plan or a premium plan just from scratch. So I would add, there's no tasks there. I would have to add all the tasks. But we also have these templates down here, which are really nice. So simple plans, project management plans, software development, business. And if you click on it, it's going to kind of give you an idea, like use our goals, feature to charge your key objectives, inspire your team, and lead towards results and stuff. So as you can see here. Now this one is plan type is premium, but some of them it's basic or premium, as you can see here. Today we're only going to be talking about basic. So I'm going to go ahead and use a template. And then we'll go from editing there. Now, let's go ahead and do a business plan, and we're going to do basic, and I'm going to say use template. Now, when you create a new plan, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to assign it the name of the template that I used, right? So I'm going to click on this, and we can actually rename it in a second. Okay. Now I'm going to click on my name, and I'm going to name this. So, and I'll also see that I can apply some backgrounds here. Now, this is actually specific to basic plans. You can't do this in a premium plan, interestingly enough. So we'll go ahead and choose this one. Okay, so I'm on the board page. We can see that we already have like some pre-assigned boards, right? Because remember, I did use a template. So here's all the boards that I have and all the tasks. This big task looks like it has 17 checklist items. So that's pretty interesting. We'll talk about that more in a minute. So we'll go ahead and come back here. And okay. Now, okay, let's go back to grid and let's talk about this view here for a second. Okay, so here we can see that I have the task name. Now, keep in mind with the basic plan, we're not going to be able to reorganize these. Like with the premium plan, I can drag and drop these in different orders, but this one is pretty stagnant. I can always come in here and create a new task as well. And then I can start assigning them to people, right? So right now I can assign to myself. I can also assign to like Aaron. But first, in order to assign, we're going to want to add a group. So I can say share. We can see plan details here. Share, I need to add a group, okay? So I'm going to just say this one here and say share with group. Okay, so it added everyone that I was already existing in that group, but now I can also add new people as well, like Aaron. And Aaron's going to be added to this group or just assigned. So I'm going to say assign and add to the group. And then it recognizes planner agent, which we're going to go ahead and talk about. So I can assign a task to planner agent here. And what that's going to do in my board view here is I'm going to see it's going to create that it's assigned to planner agent. And I'm going to be able to pull it up and see some details on that in the task bucket. So we can see here, for example. So this one is in progress, needs input. So this, if I pull it up here, we can see this area that planner agent gives us, right? It's gonna say needs input. So it needs my input, and it might have some questions here at the bottom. So what is specific industry or business plan for which type business plan should be created? And I can answer these, and then it's going to give me some feedback on this. So this is how we can use the planner agent to interact with our plan. So basically the way I would do that is it's going to show up in the assignments area here. Now what's interesting is that with the basic plan, you just come in here to grid and you're going to assign it to that planner agent, and it has to be tied to a group for planner agent to show up. With the premium plan, it's actually its own board. So luckily, like in the board view, you would have like a planner agent board, and I can drag and drop things in there and assign it to people that way. So back in grid here, I have my assignments. I can start setting some start date and due dates. Buckets, I can change the buckets here as well. And then I can update my progress. I can put in progress, or I can simply mark it like this to say it's been completed. I have priority, which is going to be urgent, important, medium, and low. And then labels, right? So labels with planner, AI agent 1, but I can also come here. So we have our board view here, and in our board view, we're going to have all of these that we just talked about, right? But I actually can also group by AI agent tasks, as you can see here. So this is where I'm going to have this, where I can just drag and drop things in here. Now it's been assigned, it's going to start working on it. And then I also can group by assigned to, bucket, labels, due date, priority, or status. So like, status here in progress, right? So this is where I can drag and drop things to update them as well. If we go back to assign to, I can also just drag and drop to assign to people as well. So this
Stella,
one
we
is my,
do have
yes.
another question.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask Frida's and then Reginald, I'm going to get back to yours. While we're in assigning, Rita asked, when you assign a task to somebody else, will that person be notified?
Yes, they get a Teams notification here saying that they've been assigned to a task, and it also automatically show up in their My Tasks area as well. So they can manage the progress of that task from their My Tasks area.
Thanks, Stella. And then Reginald just asked, how do you delete a plan if you created one in error?
Oh, yeah, easy. You just come up here, and at the very bottom, you're going to scroll down and say delete this plan.
It is a little buried.
I'm sorry?
I said it is a little bit buried, so
Oh,
we do
yeah, it
get
is
that question a lot.
Yeah, and then in settings, we can see stuff like the group name it belongs to. Then you can obviously just change the name of the plan up here. So this knowledge sources area is very new. Like I'd say this was added like last week. So as you can see here, when I'm in group by AI agent tasks, I actually can come in here and like add sources. So this is going to help me with the AI agent responses and the assigned to planner. So you can come in here and I can say like add a SharePoint site or a web source, or I can just drag and drop anything. And as you can see here, it's going to my most recent stuff as well. So I can like upload a PowerPoint, an Excel, a Word document. So this is very helpful here. And this is something we're really lucky to have in a basic plan, because this used to be more limited to premium plan as well. Now in the calendars area, this is very interesting. So something that the basic plan is going to support that premium is not, is the ability to create recurring tasks. So with recurring tasks, I can say like weekly status. And when I click on it, I can say here, like, does this repeat? So this one's saying it doesn't, but I can come in here and like create a new task and say, weekly status. And then I can open it here and say, this does repeat. Yeah. And I'm going to say weekly. Now, here's the catch. With Outlook, right, when you create a recurring meeting, for example, you have an end date on it. Unfortunately, what's weird, it doesn't allow you to put an end date on this. It's not like, oh, the last day of the project, it will end. Like it kind of just goes on forever until like the project is either closed or like done with altogether. Now, another thing too is that currently there's a feature that Microsoft has turned off because they're making some upgrades on the back end, but you actually do have the ability to convert a basic plan to premium. It's not available right now. Like I said, they disabled it. They didn't tell us for how long, but they do plan on enabling it again. If you have a basic plan that has some recurring tasks in it and you try to convert it, obviously it's not going to convert because premium plan doesn't support recurring tasks. Instead of having a calendar view like this, you're going to have a nice timeline view that shows all your tasks with dependencies, percent complete progress. And I'll go ahead and just take a quick look at that for you guys because I want you guys to kind of have an idea of what that looks like. So here on the premium, we have timeline instead. And this is what it's going to look like with milestones indicated by a diamond icon, as you can see here. And then we have our reports area, right? So this is nice, also new to basic, as you can see. So I can say reporting period last week, and I can click specific things and say, let's go ahead and generate my report for me. This is going to take a few minutes. So if anyone else has any questions, we can go ahead and cover those. So one thing I did see in the chat here, Melinda said, I also get email reminders of upcoming or late tasks. Yep, sure do. And Melinda, are you currently getting those just in Teams notifications or in emails as well?
Emails.
Yeah, yep. It's really nice. So we'll talk about here in a minute, actually, how you can change those settings if you want. But okay, so we have, as you can see here, some high, like a lot of work in progress. So I could export this and you can see, just start typing. So work in progress, there are a few tasks in progress. You can add some more information about that. You can also note some upcoming action items here. So it's pretty cool how you can type here and then I can like add something else to all of these. Now, what's really cool for those of you that are more like developers is that you actually can export this. Here's expand code block. You actually can download and like, as an image or copy the code to it as well. Here's our timeline, obviously, right now. Business vision definition completed. Yeah. And then lastly, we have our charts here. So on our charts, we're going to have some basic charts. Unfortunately, this area, surprisingly, is still not exportable at this time, which I think is pretty interesting with everything else they're doing. Hopefully that comes. The coloring on it is updated. It's like a little prettier, like a little more dynamic colors than before. It's just like red, green, blue. It's like more simple. So now it's like more of a purplish. So, but unfortunately, still not exportable at this time, which I think is very interesting. So we're hoping that that will come. Now, last thing I want to cover is goals. This is an area that Microsoft created. So I can say like, it's supposed to be the use case board is supposed to be tied to like company objectives, but like you could also say like complete task under budget, right? And then I can actually connect tasks. Now you can only connect one task to a goal. Obviously one goal can have multiple tasks, but these here cannot be tied to more than one goal. So if I go to the grid here and I say like assess market size here, and then I go to my goals because we can actually also add, oh, that's not on here. I'm sorry. In the premium plan, we're actually gonna have a goals column as well as a view, but here we don't have that. But I should believe, be able to open it up. Oh, not quite on here as well. Oh, there we go. Complete task under budget. I can see the goal that it's assigned to. So I can remove this here, or I can connect it to a goal, as you can see here. And I can also create a new goal from here directly too. Now in this area, this is really not neat. We're actually going to be able to use @mentions to loop in teammates. And this is like at the task level, right? So I can say like Erin, can you help with this task, please? And then she's going to get a Teams notification about that. And I believe it's also going to post to the group for the group that this belongs to as well. Now, one thing that I really like that premium plan has that I want to mention that doesn't have here in basic is that your premium plan is going to have task history. So really quickly, this will be the last thing we cover before I hand it back over to Erin. But basically, here's a premium plan, right? We have a lot more here, and we actually have other webinars we've covered on this. But one thing I want to highlight majorly here is we have this thing called task history. So I can see the history of the task, who it's been assigned to, who it was moved to, when effort was changed, anything that was done to the task at all. I can see in this task history, which unfortunately Basic Plan doesn't currently have, but it is something that we're hoping is coming to Basic Plan soon. And with that, if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and turn it back to Erin.
Amazing. Thanks, Stella. Does anybody have any questions for Stella while you have her? As we wait, I'm just going to get my presentation back up. I'm also putting a survey in the chat. If you could fill that out, that would be amazing. Let us know how the webinar was. I know it was a quick 30 minutes, and we try to cover as much as possible. Just for the future, if you are just getting started with Planner, like I said, we do have training sessions, workshops. We also have a Project to Planner sync. So if you have some people on your team using Project Desktop, they're not ready to move on to Planner yet, we do have a sync so those can talk to each other, the task sync, so everybody is working from a unified place. And we also have our accelerator, which is our PPM 360, which gives you a full project management tool, project intake, resource planning. If anybody's interested in that for the future, please let us know. But other than that, we do have, like I said, all of our videos up on our YouTube channel. So if you're looking for more information on Planner, some more tips and tricks, we do post videos periodically for free. And if you have any specific questions, you run into any problems as you're getting more familiar with Planner, please feel free to reach out. Melinda, thanks so much for all of your engagement in the chat. You are definitely a pro. I love it. And that's all we have today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Stella. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.